Hello.
Welcome back to the Night List podcast.
So I'm Sarah.
And I'm Sabrina.
And we came up with a name.
Yes.
It's the Night List, and we would love any input or suggestions, but for now, it's the Night List.
For now, I feel pretty good about it. It's pretty neutral.
Me too, yeah.
Music related.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of doing everything that it needs to do for now. But if anyone thinks it's terrible,
like, just let us...
Or
just
don't.
let us...
No, don't
actually,
tell us.
Yeah.
I don't want to know if it's terrible.
And also, we film at night in
Yeah, right.
like a dark, chill room, so it just makes sense for us.
Yes.
So...
Okay, so I'm very excited about the episode today. We've also changed the flow of the episodes a little bit.
yeah.
We decided that we're both going to bring a song every week because A, having one song to review for a music podcast feels not enough. And B, only getting to bring one song every 2 weeks is torturous. So we're both going to bring a song every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad that you didn't get your own.
I know, I'm
little
not on the first episode.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But
I'm
yeah.
happy. And we did do a little bit of coordinating about this.
Yes, we did.
I am doing a song by an artist called Weyes, and she's featured on the song that you brought. So we talked about it a little bit, but I don't think we know deeply the song that each other is going to be playing.
No.
Also, I'm a little sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
her
voice
is
gone.
a little gone. But
yeah. So let's get into it. As I said, I'm bringing a song by Weyes. It's called "A Lot Is Gonna Change," and I have some cool backstory on her name. So her name is spelled Weyesblood. And so when I decided I was going to do this song, I was like, what is that? So I looked it up, and it's actually, she named herself after a book called Wise Blood, written by an American author named Flannery O'Connor. So I thought that's interesting.
that's really cool.
I feel like that already says a lot about who she is. She's like, I'm going to name myself after a book. So her name is Weyes Blood, spelled how I spelled it earlier, but she also went by Wise Blood, spelled Wisebluhd.
Okay, she's crazy with her spelling.
Crazy, but she liked the name and she stuck with it. So I hate to admit this, I was going to read the book, or I was going to listen to the audiobook. The audiobook was like 5 hours long, but I could have had the time to listen to it, but I tried to listen to it a couple times, and I was just distracted, or doing anything. I don't know. I honestly could have found time, but I didn't. And also, I didn't choose this song until like maybe halfway through the week, so that cuts my time a little more. I could have done better planning.
No. But now you know a good book suggestion.
Exactly, and it does seem like an interesting book, and it's not too long. I think it's under 300 pages. I really could have read it, but I did read a synopsis.
Okay.
So, in the book, there's this guy named Hazel, who it starts with he's coming back from war, but his whole family has died, and he has no home to go to, and he's just like bitter and kind of awful.
Yeah.
So Hazel, the character, was raised very religiously, and he wanted to become a preacher when he came back from the war. But during the war, he came to believe that there is no such thing as a soul, and now he's like a serious atheist.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he comes back just like an unpleasant guy, an atheist, and he has the book. I didn't read it, but he goes and has, all kinds of distasteful encounters with people, and he ends up opening a church called the Church Without Christ, which I think is interesting because he wanted to be a preacher, and then he felt a completely different way about it, and he was like, well, I guess I'm still going to be a preacher.
Yeah.
So so he begins preaching that God is a liar and that sin and redemption are not real. And I think that ties in pretty interestingly with like what you see in war, and then you come back and you find that sin and redemption aren't real. And he ends up killing someone in the book.
Oh my God.
Spoiler alert.
Is this fiction?
Yeah.
Or okay.
I believe it's fiction.
Okay.
I could have looked into the author a bit more, but
That's all right.
that's getting too
That's
deep.
all right.
We're
Yeah.
already so far off. So that's where her name comes from. But her actual name is Natalie Laura Mering. She's 34 years old. And so she grew up in a really, really religious household.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of her interviews, she told a story about how she was into one band, and she found out that one of the members was gay, and then her brain goes, okay, so they're not going to heaven. And then she was like, that's so sad. He's such a great guy.
Yeah.
And then that's, where she said that holes were being poked in that for her. She was Pentecostal.
Gotcha.
And it's also interesting because she said a lot of her influence comes from church music.
Okay.
So anyways, but now she's 34. She was in a bunch of bands before releasing her own album, her own first album in 2011. Her parents were musicians. And
were they like religious
I imagine
musicians?
so.
Okay.
I imagine so. She did a bunch of moving around, ended up like in California and getting a record label there and stuff. And a fun fact was she had a radio show on her school radio station when she was in college.
That's so cool.
Right? So that's like our dream.
Yeah.
Here in our university studio.
So inspiring.
Yes. So I brought a song. It's from not her most recent album because she kind of just put one out, but this one's from Titanic Rising, released in 2019. And so William, my brother, showed me this.
Mm-hmm.
And should I talk about this after? After we listen to the song?
Yeah, maybe let's listen to the song.
Let's listen to the song.
And then you can talk about your connection to the song.
Yeah, that sounds good.
After we hear it. All right.
Alrighty.
I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties today. We only have one pair of headphones, so we're trying to figure out how to work around it.
Yeah.
Okay. That build up.
Yeah, like kind of scary almost in the beginning.
And then into a piano.
Mm-hmm.
If I could go back to a time before now, before I ever fell down, go back to a time when I was just a girl, when I had the whole world gently wrapped around me, and no good thing could be taken away if I still believed it. Hearts don't lie, you're gonna be just fine. Lots gonna change in your life.
Isn't that heartbreaking?
Try to leave it all behind.
She's incredible. Can't you imagine if you were going through something, this song could ruin you?
It could destroy me probably.
Born in a century, lost to memories, falling trees.
blends her voice so well.
in your time.
I could see myself blasting this song in the car, being like so emotional.
Yeah, it's like the tears are welling up behind my eyes.
Yeah, literally.
Let me change my words. Show me where it hurts.
That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. Like, what do you have to say?
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely going in one of my playlists somewhere.
Yeah,
It was just so, from the beginning to the end,
yeah.
it was so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The way that she, like, does her, like, I don't know, the way she does her melodies with the strings and the piano is so beautiful. And she has such a, like, distinctive voice.
Uh-huh. I feel like also, so the album is called Titanic Rising, so I'm like thinking about water, and then like with the way the music like wells up, it's like I feel
Yes.
something in me like welling up. I don't know.
I felt that too, for sure.
Yeah, it's moving.
So good.
It's moving.
Wow.
Yeah, and other songs on this album are really great too. And so when I looked into, the religious background, I thought it was interesting because she's talking about, her friends and her family maybe not staying the same.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of her interviews that I read, she was talking about living in New York at some time, trying to make music and having no record deal, no money, no friends, no nothing. And she talked about how this song is like a message to her younger self.
That's
being
really
like, a
beautiful.
lot is going to change.
Aww.
Yeah. So William, my brother, showed me this song.
Mm.
And I remember I wasn't super affected by it when I first heard it. I think maybe I came at it with a little bit of animosity because like William was showing it to me.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but I refound it, or I claimed it for myself at some point.
Mhm.
And I just think it's such, and William said this, he said, it's like a song that was like written and sung by a woman,
Yeah, totally.
Like, it
Totally.
feels just relatable for a woman and someone who can like reflect on growing up a bit. Not that I've grown up much.
Right.
all, ever.
Right. Yeah, that's just such a good song. The lyrics are beautiful and like heartbreaking,
Yes.
but
But it's almost
in a comforting way.
It's comforting.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, a lot's gonna change and it's gonna be like, you have what it takes, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she said it was a sort of a guide to her younger self. And yeah, I really love the sentiment. Like, a lot is gonna change in your lifetime.
Mhm.
And hearing it as someone who's so young, like, prepares me for change.
Mhm.
And then also, and not that I've gone through drastic changes in my life anyways,
Right.
and it sounds like she obviously has, through with religion, with trying to become a musician.
And with being on her own in New York, like that's
Yeah, I think it's a really powerful
and then
song. And
becoming a super successful artist
Yeah,
after that,
yeah.
making beautiful music.
and she's got really interesting album covers too. This one, she's like in a bedroom underwater. That's not this one, it's the other one.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So,
You know what this looks like? I recently saw a TikTok of somebody expanding album covers with AI, which we talked about last week.
AI.
They just like expand the album covers, and
What does that mean? Like they
So-
make more of a picture?
yes.
Oh.
So like
Interesting.
for Lord's melodrama,
Mm-hmm.
you know how it's her just like kind of like laying down with like a blanket?
Yeah.
They made it like a whole bed.
That's so
And like it was
cool.
really cool. And this album cover really reminds me of that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Just to touch on some of the other songs in this album, she's got one called Andromeda, which is cool because it's spacey.
Mm-hmm.
Movies is kind of funny. Like the main lyric in that song is like, I love movies. A bunch of these are great. So if I'm just to put in my recommendation early, I will put in Titanic Rising by Weyes Blood. If you felt that one with us, I think you'll feel quite a few songs from the album.
Yeah. And I'm going to totally take that recommendation
Yeah.
and listen to this week.
Yeah. And so I wanted my first song to be, kind of wanted it to be heartbreaking. I wanted to
Yeah.
show that I can bring the emotion to the table. Not that last week wasn't emotional.
Right.
The emotion was happy, definitely.
Right. And this next song that I'm bringing of hers is, well, it's not hers, but
She's not
with her, is not like this.
Great.
So
That's good.
because I've listened to her mostly in this other artist's music.
Okay.
I haven't listened to a lot of her individual stuff, and it's a completely different vibe.
Fun.
But I love this side of her music. It's
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. I feel like you could see, I thought the religious aspect was really, really interesting
Yeah.
because she's not singing about religion
No.
in her music, but there's like a depth and it's almost like there's like a spirituality in it almost.
Yes.
With how heavy it is and how impactful it's trying to be, which I guess she got from church music.
From growing up listening to like, especially with like gospel and the way that like it wells up and like is so powerful with
Yeah.
like what it says.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
And with gospel music, they are trying to make you feel something.
Yes.
Like they want you to feel the power of God when you
Yes.
listen to it. And I think she's employing that in a really, really interesting way.
Yeah, and like her own way that she's, yeah,
It's just a cool translation.
that's
Okay.
really awesome.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah, good.
Amazing job, Sabrina.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right.
Are we
I
going
guess we're
into
ready.
mine?
Yeah.
Okay, so my song is called Honey by Drugdealer and Weyes Blood, and she's actually the lead vocalist on the song.
Okay.
So it was written and produced and released by a different artist. So
You said
Drugdealer
Okay.
is, so he's kind of like a Tame Impala
Okay.
vibe. So he's the only, he's the primary songwriter. He's not the primary vocalist though, which I think is interesting, until his most recent album.
Interesting.
So he has 3 albums, and his first 2 were very heavily, the vocals are mostly by other people.
Interesting. He's like a DJ, basically.
Yeah. Also, his birthday was last week.
Happy birthday,
October
Drugdealer.
22nd.
Wow.
I don't really know how old he is. He was a very vague person to look up. But he's from Baltimore, and then went to LA.
Shout out LA.
Yeah, shout out LA.
Yeah, we've been meaning to do a big shout out to LA.
So, major shout out to LA. Let me see. Okay, so, and his backstory was really interesting.
Okay.
So he started releasing music in 2009 when he was, he went to film school, and he would come home and make music.
Okay.
As just another outlet. and he started releasing music under the name Run DMT in 2009, and he released a couple albums under that name, but then he got sued by an EDM band who had the same name.
Whoa.
So I couldn't find his music under that name anymore.
Okay.
I think
It's gone.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would have to do some more digging to find
the
that.
black web.
Yeah. My computer explodes.
You get a huge virus for trying to listen to this music.
And then he changed his name to Salvia Plath, and he released one album under that name,
Which is not
in 2013. It's not Salvia Palth, Palth,
right.
because that's another artist that
not to
I
be
like.
confused.
Yeah, so it's one letter different.
Get it
but,
right, keep it
but
right,
exactly.
live it, love it.
And then he changed to Drugdealer, and he just released his third album 2 days ago. So I haven't
Great.
listened to it yet,
Okay.
but yeah, and he collaborates a lot with Ariel Pink, Weyes Blood,
Cool.
members of Mild High Club.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he's a Tame Impala type of guy where he assembled a live band to perform with.
Right.
So he has his group of musicians that he works with.
Right.
And yeah, but he's like the ringleader of all of it.
He's the contractor, and they're just building the house.
Exactly.
Got it,
Exactly.
got it.
And I was reading some of his interviews, and he was talking about how he loves the community aspect of music, and he loves collaborating with people, and he was just talking about that, and that definitely translates into his music because
have him on.
he just gets yeah. If we can find him anywhere. But what was I gonna say? I don't remember.
The community aspect translating into his music.
Yeah, I lost it.
It
But that's okay.
translates.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. So he must have changed his name to Drug Dealer. Go ahead.
Wait, no, go ahead.
He must have changed his name to Drug Dealer in the past 10 years or something.
Yeah, it was in 2016.
So it's crazy that he got sued for having a name that was already someone's.
Yeah.
But Drug Dealer wasn't taken?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You would think.
Right.
I don't know. And on top of all of this, he is a part of a duo called Silk Roads. I don't know if you've ever listened to them, but I also know Silk Roads.
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't heard.
Yeah, so that was just crazy to find out. They only released one album in 2014, and they released an EP in 2015, so they haven't released music in a while, so I don't know if they're still actively in it. But it was just crazy. I kept finding him I don't know. It was just
Touching all corners of
exactly.
music.
Exactly.
2014, 2015 is a crazy time for music.
Yeah, it truly
Right?
is. Even 2016.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, those 3 years were just lawless.
All of saying this is gonna make us sound old. Old to someone.
Yeah. And fun fact, he's known Weyes Blood for over 10 years.
What?
And he was saying in an interview that she's one of his favorite people to collaborate with, and she inspires his music a lot. She's
Wow.
been super influential to him.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah, that's so cool. I love to hear it.
So that's pretty much it for the background of him. So I'm ready to go.
Awesome. What's the song called again?
It's called Honey by Drugdealer. It's off his second album.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
When you're not around, well, people have their way with words, and you don't have to hear the sound to feel the burn. down and very close to people's lives. You've got some things you can't erase. Honey, I've got mine. I know that you want to be seen and to be heard. Oh, to be loved, it's not a crime.
It's so good. Again, I love her voice.
Yeah, that's definitely her. She's really cool.
I just feel like her voice works so well with all the instrumentals in the background too.
Yeah, she's blending in beautifully. See, I feel like there's like a Western kind of vibe going on.
Yeah. And like a good like 70s, 80s.
I found that this singer, Weyes also has a bit of a Western thing in some of her songs. She's got a honky kind of guitar every once in a while.
You've got the magic smile that makes people turn their heads and take their love and make it burn for you instead. Well, I get so inspired, and you know just what that's worth. Most people know just what they want, but can't make it work. I know that you want to be free and to be wild, oh, to be hugged just like a child. Money is the root of the game. The problem with fame is everybody's gonna lose their head.
Also, I'm just finding out right now that right there she says edge and not head. Because she said people are gonna lose their head.
I had a moment with that with the other song as well. This also feels a little, who made this song? Father John Misty.
Yes.
This song is from a different time.
Definitely.
I like that she's bringing almost an opera kind of voice. And then also pulls it back down to go along with this funky kind of music.
Yeah. Like, it's not the voice you'd expect with the instruments in the background, but it works so well.
Yeah.
And I love that little, at the end, that little, like, melody in the background.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so...
That was fantastic. It was... that you could have told me that was made in the 70s, and I would believe it, except for, I guess, how crisp it sounds.
Right. Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite things about this artist is his music feels... The first song I ever heard by him, which is the one I wanted to bring, like another option, is called The Real World.
Okay.
And it sounds like something, that like my parents grew up playing in my house.
Right? I know a song from this album. It's Suddenly, which also happens to have
Weyes Blood on it.
I never put that together. I really thought it was very great. What was I going to say? Oh, embarrassing.
It's okay. It happened to me earlier.
Well, that's gone.
Yeah.
Great.
But I just really love the overall feeling of the song.
Yeah.
It still has that emotional aspect to it. If you listen to the lyrics and just the way, I think it's just her voice.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being familiar with her music a little more, I do feel like that felt like a song that she would make. The music, the kind of guitar that was in it felt like something that she would make, but she claims a more ethereal style, and so to get with Drugdealer and to make this song, I feel makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the duo that he's in is kind of a similar, I don't know how to it's just like,
It was also kind of, it sounded like the Beatles, maybe.
Yeah.
With that kind of like going along melody of just voices with a little Beatles-like.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like Salvador Dali in this picture with the mustache.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Didn't notice so much in there.
No. Interesting. Very retro.
Yes.
Is what I'm pulling from it. And I think from the one other song I know from this band, it was quite retro as well.
Yeah, and I just really, I don't know, I like that there's new music being released that sounds like this.
Yeah. I wonder how he came to that conclusion.
I don't know, because when I was looking into his other bands, his first one was like lo-fi psychedelic.
Okay.
And then his second name, the one that was Salvia Plath, was...
That really is just one letter off from the other band.
I know. I think this one was, he started to go more like folk, getting inspiration from
Neil
Beach
Young.
Boys, Neil Young. Also, in one of the like bios I read about him, said he got a lot of inspiration from Steely Dan, which makes total sense.
Yeah. I think it's funny.
And he gets so much inspiration from everyone he works with because he makes music with so many people.
What more could you ask for?
So
I think his name, just based on that song and the other song I know, and the retro, folky, 60s, 70s vibe, I feel like the name Drugdealer kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
It does.
Because I was thinking about the Beatles, I can imagine being in London in, you know, the early 70s. This guy's, you know, walking down the street, sketchy dude. But like this song is playing in the background.
Also, Sea of Nothing is a really, really good song.
Okay. If you had to recommend one of these albums of his, which one do you think?
I think I'm going to recommend, well, I haven't listened to his newest one, so I can't say anything about that, but I think his first one, The End of Comedy, would be my recommendation.
Okay.
This song is not from that album, but The End of Comedy has some really good ones.
Okay.
And there's multiple songs with Weyes Blood in it. Great. The End of Comedy, also a great one. And then there's Ariel Pink in there. Yeah, just a really solid artist.
Yeah. The name of this album also makes me think of Father John Misty, because doesn't he have the word comedy in one of his album names?
I don't know.
Pure Comedy. Yeah, he has one called Pure Comedy. And so he's got a similar vibe.
Yeah.
Well, that was great. I think that I like that we had the same voice in both of our songs today.
A
That was really
coordination.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready to chat.
Okay.
Move on from the music. Okay, so tomorrow is Halloween.
Yes.
So we're thinking of doing a bit of a Halloween theme today.
Yeah, this is kind of a Halloween episode.
Right. I guess we could have done spookier songs.
Yeah, true.
I didn't really think about that. Halloween was kind of an afterthought to the music.
Yes.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I'd have to go. It's hard to choose my favorite, but probably Reese's.
Okay. What about favorite fruity Halloween candy?
Ooh,
It's kind of hard.
all I can really think of is Skittles, which are
Yeah.
like solid, but I'm kind of blanking on fruity Halloween candies.
Yeah, because I like gummies, but you don't really
me
get that
too.
for Halloween.
No. Okay, what's your favorite?
Gotta be Twix, I guess,
Okay.
chocolate-wise.
Okay.
Sorry. Sweet. Yeah, I can't... Starburst? But I don't know if I like that more than a Skittle.
Right.
What's your favorite Skittle flavor?
Like the
Color.
original ones?
Yeah.
I really like the green apple one.
I like the green apple one. Yeah. My favorite may be orange, though.
The only one I don't love is the grape. But other than that,
Pretty... Not bad.
yeah.
Okay. We can talk about our costumes a little bit.
Yeah.
We both went to 2 parties this weekend. One was our
Mhm.
very own party,
Yes.
and then we went to separate ones otherwise. What were your costumes?
So my first one was Mia Wallace from Pulp Fiction, and I got a black wig, and at Party City, the long wig was $10 cheaper than the short one, and she has like a short black bob. So Sabrina and Tamara helped me cut my wig, and it
Yeah.
was perfect. It came out so good.
It was literally perfect and $10 cheaper.
Yeah, like what more could you ask for?
Uh-huh.
And then last night, at our own party, I was Lorelai Gilmore, but from the second episode. It's called Laundry, or it's her like laundry day outfit. And it's like, it was a pink tie-dye t-shirt that Sabrina let me borrow, and it was perfect.
Looked great.
Jean shorts, a trench coat, and boots.
Crazy.
And then
That sounds great. Like, that sounds crazy, but it looked really good, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
it turned out like very accurate, which
Yeah.
was good. And then my friend Michelle, also our roommate, she dressed up as Luke from Gilmore Girls, so we kind of had like a matching costume.
It's kind of a couple's costume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of low key.
Low key.
So what were yours?
So the first night, I intended to be Barbie. And I was wearing pink tights, a pink shirt, and a green skirt, a lime green skirt.
With flowers on it.
With flowers on it, and then people guessed that I was Patrick Starr, which
But
was way more accurate than Barbie.
sexy Patrick Starr with like the fishnets, because she was
Yeah.
also wearing these insane heels.
Yeah, big giant platform heels.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just wanted also just to be tall. And
Yeah.
I was like, Barbie's tall.
Yeah.
It was totally Patrick Starr. It totally was. And it was, if I imagined it to be Patrick Starr, it would have been a better costume.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I went in
Right.
with that. But that was fun. People liked that. I liked that. And then at our party, I was feeling a little lazy. I had already like lost my voice by this point, so I dressed up as a quote unquote rock star.
She had a nice little drum set.
I was
shirt.
wearing a t-shirt with a drum set on it, and I like put on a lot of eyeshadow. But I had a friend come, a friend from the swim team came to our Halloween party, and I said hi to her, and her voice was totally gone too. We had gone to the same party the night before, and her outfit was kind of nondescript. It wasn't particularly anything.
Yeah.
And I said, what are you dressed up as? And she said, I'm dressed up as a pop star. And I said, I'm a rock star. And both of our voices were gone. It was really fun.
Yeah. That's so funny that you both showed up.
Yeah, right?
It's the same thing, just on the same exact vibe.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. What were your costumes as a kid growing up?
I didn't have any monumental ones, really. One year I was Miss America.
What does that mean? Were you dressed up in USA garb?
No, like beauty pageant. Like I had like a little sash that said Miss America.
Okay.
I've definitely been like a zombie, like painted my face.
Awesome.
Or like a ghost or something, you know?
Yeah.
I've definitely done the whole face paint thing, which is so fun.
Super fun.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking of many. I don't really remember.
Okay.
I don't know. Halloween as a kid, I just it was always last minute,
Right.
which it kind of always is every single year for me.
Yeah. We don't have time for that.
No.
What
But
is this?
mine actually came together really well this year, which
They
was
really
nice
did.
because it's like literally the first time I've had like a solid put together and 2 solid put together Halloween outfits.
You had 2 outfits and they totally hit the nail on the head.
Thanks. So what were yours?
I surely have a picture of me being a little fairy when I was a tiny baby.
Oh, cute.
Not like a tiny baby, like walking around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of them. I remember being a vampire for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and vampires are super cool, and I'm okay with
Yeah.
it. I think I was like, I want to be something different every year when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
But I look back and I'm like, hey, look, if a vampire is a solid costume, vampire is a solid costume.
And why not repeat it?
Yeah, and my brother and I were both vampires many a time.
Yeah. Were you always vampires together?
I couldn't say for sure.
Okay.
I couldn't say for sure. And then I did Corpse Bride one year.
Oh, that's so cool.
I got a bride dress.
Wedding dress?
Wedding dress from Goodwill. Like ripped it up, dyed it everywhere, smothered it in blood, painted my face and everything. It was amazing. And I remember that year I was trick-or-treating and my mom painted my face and they asked me who painted my face. I said my mom, and they go, is she an esthetician? She did so good.
Oh my god.
So yeah. Speaking of my mom,
yes.
oh, might have to cut this.
Okay.
She did Pocahontas for years. It wasn't racist,
Right.
but she had a dope Pocahontas costume and a serious, very nice black wig. And she did Pocahontas for a long time. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Last year, Tamara's a roommate. I don't know if we formally said that.
Yeah.
Hi, Tamara.
Yeah.
I don't really,
And
I don't know if she's listening.
we're also roommates.
Yeah.
So
Tidbit about us. We did zombies last year. We got a bunch of gauze, dyed
Wait, I
it
thought
all.
you did mummies.
Oh my god, sorry. We did mummies last year. We were matching. It was super cute. Like,
Yeah, it was
nice.
really good.
But we were in Gainesville. It was hot here.
Yeah.
Right, this year.
Yeah.
I don't know about last year, but we were in Gainesville and it was freezing cold. And we were dressed up as mummies, barely wearing clothes, mostly just wearing gauze. And we were freezing, but, we survived.
Yeah.
And then the year before that, I was a black cat. I was feeling very lazy. I was in Tallahassee. I had Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've also done the vampire recently.
Yeah.
I think like a year or 2 ago I did the vampire costume.
Vampire is fantastic.
Because you just can't go wrong.
No.
You just
And it's
can't.
not too cheesy.
No.
You could be vampire and that's respectable every time. Same way you can be zombie, mummy.
Michelle was just a vampire this weekend.
There you go.
At
And
the
everybody
first
loved
party
it.
that we went to.
There you go. Everybody
Yeah.
loved it. What else about Halloween? Do I have anything else to say about Halloween?
What about Halloween movies? Okay, what's your favorite childhood Halloween movie? Like, what was your favorite one growing up?
Monster House.
So good.
Such a good movie. I watched it about a year ago with Tamara, and she is deathly afraid of horror
She
movies.
hates horror movies.
It's literally a horror movie for children. I can't believe she agreed to watch it with me, but we did, and she was scared.
Right.
So it's a valid movie.
Yes.
It's not totally weak.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a movie called like Spooky Grandmother or something.
Okay. Interesting.
Spooky Godmother. Does that
never
ring
heard
a bell?
No.
It's about like a little girl, and she has this like spooky godmother, and she enters like a different world. There are vampires. I wish
No.
I had better details.
I wish I knew what you were talking
I know,
about.
we can watch it
Okay, yeah.
because we're roommates.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes.
My favorite one, I think, is Hocus Pocus.
Fair.
I think it just has to be Hocus Pocus.
There's nothing wrong with having
That
a
one
favorite
is
movie. That's great.
So good.
Yeah.
And they just came out with a new one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a second Hocus Pocus. But I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Also, this makes me think of Halloween Town.
Oh my god.
Great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much there is to say about that.
Yeah.
Do I remember the plots of these movies very well?
Not really.
No.
Not really.
No.
There is a witch in Hocus Pocus named Sarah. So,
Okay.
like, she's one of the three.
Okay.
So, like,
Which is
Come
another good every time costume.
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of witches and movies, one of my favorite Halloween-y fall movies is called starts with a C. Please. The Craft. The Craft.
Okay.
It's called The Craft. It's about there's 3 witches in like high school, and another girl comes to town, and she has witchy powers, and the 3 original witches were looking for a 4th, and they indoctrinate her, and it's about their journey, all their crazy kooky things that go on. It's a great movie. We should watch it tonight.
Yeah, we should.
And there's my second recommendation of the podcast.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a current favorite Halloween movie. Should I just say my favorite horror movies? Yeah. Okay, so one of my favorites is Hereditary.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's bad.
Sabrina
Like,
needs
scary.
to watch it. It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy because I feel like with horror movies, I love them, but they do get a little predictable.
Agreed.
So it's hard to get like the good, like, oh my God, like, you know, like what you're looking for in a horror movie. And the director who made Hereditary and also Midsummer, which is another one that you need to watch.
I know. I need to. I know I would like it.
You totally would. And Florence Pugh is the main person in that movie, and she's amazing. Yeah. Anyway, I watched an interview of his after I watched Hereditary, because I'm like, literally, who made this? And like, what's wrong with him? And he was talking about how his whole goal when he makes movies is to leave images in your brain that you can't get out.
That's psycho.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah. You've got to be some way to make...
Dude,
for that to be your goal.
But it's a really good movie, and it's like, it like actually like really, really freaked me out for a minute.
Can we have a little synopsis?
Yeah, a synopsis. Okay, I don't know how to explain it without giving too much away of what happens, but it's about a family. I'm not sure where they live. So it's a family of 4. There's a son and a daughter. The son is older and he's in high school, and then the daughter is younger, and I think she's in elementary or middle school. And the mom, like, she just starts to go a little crazy, and like weird stuff starts happening with the family, and the mom starts to like find out stuff about her mom, so like the grandma of these kids. And it's really weird, and like I don't know, they just find out some like
Family
crazy
history
stuff,
is
and
always
then
crazy.
there's a lot of tension, and the mom's like, I don't know, I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, because I should watch it.
Because you should watch it, and
Yeah.
it's really good, but it gets crazy.
Okay, we
Like-
should do a bit of a horror movie marathon tomorrow
Yeah, we should.
when we're passing out the candy.
Yeah, we're hoping to have trick-or-treaters
Yeah.
at our house tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Halloween.
yeah, what's your favorite horror movie? Ooh, also honorary mention to The Shining. I love that movie.
I was gonna kind of say The Shining. It's really
Yeah.
good. We watched it together.
Yeah,
about a
we
year
did.
ago. I think it's great. It's Stanley Kubrick.
That
right?
feels Christmassy to me, though. Is
I
that
get
weird?
Because it
Because
is in
it's
Christmas
during
time.
winter time.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's Christmas.
But it's a horror movie.
But
It's definitely
I
not
don't
a
know, I
Christmas
still-
movie.
No, it's not. But
I get it.
you know what I
get
mean.
But that's a fantastic movie because it's so aesthetically pleasing. It's
Mhm.
a stunning movie.
Yes.
And it's got when we watched it a year ago, I think that was the first time I'd ever seen it.
No way.
Yeah, and it's got such a great storyline too.
Yeah.
Because I had kind of put it down to just being, I don't know, the dad goes crazy in the house, whatever. But I mean, I never realized why it was called The Shining, and then I found out why it's called The Shining because the kid has this
Yeah.
ability,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, and that's a great movie.
It's so good.
And there's a weird like historical thing going on.
Mhm.
That's a great movie. That could be
Yeah.
one of I do like Donnie Darko.
I've never seen it.
That's another really great movie. It's about a kid, basically, I think he has schizophrenia and a bunch of weird stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
Also, very aesthetic movie. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal. He's Donnie Darko. And it's totally Halloween movie, actually, because they do Halloween night in that movie.
Gotcha.
Really good. It's not so much a horror as it is like psychological
Okay.
thriller, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's like my favorite genre of movies.
Me too. Me too. And I would say Midsummer is more psychological.
Right. And that's why I know I would like it.
Yeah.
Because I also really liked Black Swan.
I have been meaning to watch that.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make a list for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That one's really good. Creepy, weird stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like those are the type of movies you could like read about and get a little
Right.
more from. Yeah.
Right. And I love watching I watch like interviews of things once I like especially with shows. I have been fighting the urge to watch interviews for Game of Thrones because I'm watching it right now. I'm almost on season 7 and normally I don't care much about spoilers, but with this show, it's so crazy that you don't want to ruin it.
Right.
Like you want the shock of like what happens episode to episode.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a well-written show and like
That's the whole point.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I've been really fighting the urge to like watch interviews of the actors.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to ruin anything for myself.
Yeah, you have to hold off.
Yeah.
Movies.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's listening and feeling implored to engage, drop in the comments your favorite Halloween movie,
Yes.
favorite horror movie, favorite
Yes.
Halloween candy, your outfit this year, your outfit as a
Yeah.
child, the best outfit you ever did. Not outfit, costume.
Maybe the best one you've ever seen,
Yeah.
too. Doesn't even have to be yours.
Totally.
Just get some Halloween energy going in our comments.
Yeah.
Even though this will be out after Halloween.
I'll try
probably.
to do it at Halloween.
Yeah, but
I
maybe
could
not.
find time. Well, not if we're watching all these movies.
Yeah, we're gonna be busy tomorrow with our movie marathon.
Yeah. I feel like that's concluding it.
Yeah.
I think that's
What time are we at?
We're at 55 minutes.
Amazing.
We're keeping it constant.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it for the night list tonight.
That concludes the Night List podcast.
All right. Do
with
we
Sarah and
want to fade
Sabrina.
out with a song?
Yeah, I don't have one.
Do your next
should
best from this album.
Okay.
From the end of Congo.
Okay. This is called The Real World by Drugdealer. And bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.